You're watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6 and I am Rakshita Mishra with you viewers. We will start with the abuse bomb that is only exploding viewers. Congress is stooping to a new law. It posts an AI-generated video of Prime Minister Modi's mother and then goes on to justify it. Story number 2 viewers will be the latest coming in from the aviation world. It's the SpiceJet controversy. A wheel goes missing viewers. We got it first and we'll tell you all the exclusive details that are coming in on that. Story number 3 is Sujir Balaji's death. Now his mother has spoken exclusively to Republic TV and has reacted to Sam Altman's suicide theory. Also on the show, we get you the latest from Nepal as there is a division of opinion amongst the protest groups about who should be the chief of its interim government. Also, we get you the latest coming in from Manipur. Republic TV will be taking you through the preparations for Prime Minister's visit in Imphal. And finally, the shocking case from Dallas where an Indian origin man was beheaded in broad daylight. All that on the show, but we start with the big breaking we have on Charlie Kirk's assassination viewers. We have an update coming in that the police have arrested a suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk on the Utah College campus. Now, assassination suspect is in custody. It has been announced by Donald Trump himself. And I quote him. Trump says, I quote, "I think with a high degree of certainty we have him in custody." And he also went on to say that somebody that was very close to him turned him in. Trump says that he did not deserve this. Of course, he's talking about Charlie Kirk, and he was very close to Charlie Kirk, of course. We have Kruta joining us live on the broadcast for more. Kruta, well, Trump exudes confidence. He says that there is high degree of certainty. But what all do we know about this suspect? Because there was information also that was released by the FBI also on him.
Rakshita, for the last 72 hours, there was a very high-intensity manhunt on in the United States led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation under Kash Patel to locate this man who was on the rooftops at the Utah University where Charlie Kirk was shot dead at the event. He was seen fleeing from the scene and his pictures had gone viral, and in entirety of the United States of America, there was a manhunt for this man. Now, President Trump on US media has himself confirmed with a high degree of certainty. He says that they have the man in custody. In fact, he also went on to say that there was a person who was very close to this assassin who himself basically gave details to the authorities about whereabouts of this assassin, and following which he was brought under custody, and which Trump believes and the Trump administration's FBI believes that he is the person who is behind the assassination. Now, we are yet to ascertain the identity or understand the political or non-political motivations of this alleged killer behind killing of Charlie Kirk on the Utah campus, whether there were any political motivations or something else, or was there a larger conspiracy at play. These are questions that will be answered in coming days as the FBI now begins intense interrogation of him. What we know so far is that President Trump's administration is committed to for a speedy trial, and in fact President Trump himself has expressed intent to urge the jury to find him guilty of a death penalty in the Charlie Kirk case. We saw this yesterday that President Trump in fact even announced the Presidential Medal of Freedom for Charlie Kirk, which is the highest civilian honor in the United States, and Vice President J.D. Vance himself accompanied the coffin of Charlie Kirk. So it shows the proximity of Charlie Kirk to the US administration and the intent of the administration to pursue swift justice in this matter. But at the moment, what we know is that the would-be assassin is certainly in custody of the FBI, according to US President Donald Trump. Back to the studio.
Yes, Kruta, of course, there have been a lot of reactions that have also come in on what really caused. We've seen Donald Trump blaming the radical left for this murder. There are many more such reactions that have come in, on social media. In India also is much talked about. But tell us what has been the narrative, so to speak, around this murder. What are the people from Republican Party and from the Democrats, what has really been the assessment of this entire incident?
Well, it has been largely a very polarizing issue in the United States of America, in particular, where the Democrats and the Republicans have been caught onto the ideological lines vis-a-vis Charlie Kirk's personal views. We saw on social media, very shockingly, there's a vast section of US media and people in US who celebrated almost the killing of Charlie Kirk in a manner in which is untoward for any political violence that can be condoned in any parliamentary or any kind of democracy. We also saw bipartisan voices coming out from both the Republican side and the Democrat side condemning the political violence and the act of political political violence. However, there was a bit of a commotion in the US Congress when there was a motion brought in to observe 1 minute of silence of prayer for Charlie Kirk. So there have been divisions in the US Congress, the US Parliament as well. We also saw similar apprehensions being at display in the EU Parliament, where a Polish lawmaker proposed a minute of silence for Charlie Kirk. So globally, the global right and left and the political violence that ensues as an outcome of these debates has been on top of the agenda. But at the moment, the priority was to get the legal side of the things out of the way, and the killer is now arrested.
Thank you very much for joining us, Rudrat, on the broadcast with those details coming in on that breaking development. Now we shift our focus to what's happened with this SpiceJet flight that was flying from Kandla to Mumbai airport. Now, SpiceJet yet again under scanner after that terrifying mid-air scare where a plane that was flying from Kandla to Mumbai with a missing landing gear wheel. Yes, you heard that right. Missing wheel. The airline has now been asked to submit an incident occurrence report to the DGCA by the end of this day. 75 lives have been put at stake, viewers. A full emergency was declared at the Mumbai airport. Yet, questions remain on how did this aircraft even take off at the first place? Who signed off on its airworthiness and his passengers' safety being compromised in rush to meet schedules? We put the spotlight on this near disaster and demand answers.
A packed passenger flight, 75 souls on board. Flying with a landing gear, missing a wheel. Chaos at Mumbai airport, panic inside the aircraft. Full emergency declared, even departure at Mumbai airport brought to a grinding halt. This was SpiceJet flight SG2906 Kandla to Mumbai that flew nearly 400 kilometers with a crippled landing gear. The wheel had fallen off during takeoff itself. The pilots were informed only 20 minutes before touchdown when ATC discovered the wheel lying on the Kandla runway. 71 passengers, 4 crew, unknowingly in a potential disaster waiting to happen. Fire tenders, ambulances, emergency crews all scrambled at Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport as a full-scale emergency was declared.
Around 3:45 p.m. the emergency was declared. 3:51 it has landed at Mumbai airport. Between 3:30 to 3:45 is the time when there was an emergency situation in the aircraft, when the pilot in command got to know that yes, there's no wheel, the wheels in the aircraft is missing, and the missing wheel has been found after information to the control command center. The missing wheel has been found at the runway of the Kandla airport. That means while the aircraft took off from the Kandla airport at that particular time, there was outer wheel in the aircraft, but soon after taking off, while it was airborne, there was no wheel in the aircraft. There was no outer wheel in the aircraft. However, SpiceJet has informed us that the outer wheel was missing. It has now been found at Kandla airport at around 3:45 p.m. Precisely, emergency was declared.
The aircraft finally landed on runway 27 at 3:51 p.m. A tense, high-stakes touchdown before safely taxiing to the terminal. The big question is, how does a maintenance-cleared aircraft take off with a landing gear wheel missing? Who is accountable for this near miss? This incident is a chilling reminder that India's aviation safety checks are under the scanner yet again. Will this be just another close call or the wake-up call regulators cannot afford to ignore?
And Satya Prakash joins us live in the broadcast from Mumbai, viewers. Satya Prakash, हमें बताएं कि क्या कुछ जानकारी सामने आ रही है. 5 बजे तक कहा गया था कि फ्लाइट्स टेक ऑफ नहीं करेंगे. आप एयरपोर्ट पे हमें बताएं अभी क्या ताज़ा हालात हैं.
देखिए, मुंबई एयरपोर्ट से फ्लाइट उड़ान भरना शुरू कर दिया है. 5 बजे के बाद उड़ानें भरना शुरू कर दिया है, लेकिन जब 3:51 पर मुंबई एयरपोर्ट पे हड़कंप मच गया था. जिस तरह से कांडला एयरपोर्ट से उड़ान भरा था स्पाइसजेट एयरक्राफ्ट, और जिस तरह से बिना पहिए के यहाँ पे लैंड कराना था, कहीं कहीं यहाँ पे हड़कंप मच गया था. मुंबई पुलिस की टीम, फायर ब्रिगेड की टीम और जितनी भी एजेंसियां थी, सभी लोगों को यहाँ पर एयरपोर्ट पे मौजूद थे और बड़ी सावधानी से जो एयरक्राफ्ट को लैंड कराया गया और कहीं के जो यात्री थे उनको सुरक्षित कहीं कहीं उतारा गया. सभी जो पैसेंजर थे अपने घर जा चुके हैं, लेकिन कहीं जांच के विषय कि कैसे ये वहां से उड़ान भरा, बिना पहिए की उड़ान भरा, और जिस तरह से यहाँ पे हड़कंप मच गया था. 3:51 पर मुंबई एयरपोर्ट हड़कंप मच गया था. सारी एजेंसियां, मुंबई पुलिस के साथ फायर ब्रिगेड की टीम मौजूद थी और ये देखा जा रहा था किस तरह से सावधानी से सभी यात्रियों को सुरक्षित उतारा जाए। तो कहीं न कहीं अब जांच का विषय है कि इतनी बड़ी खामी कैसे हुई। फिलहाल जो पैसेंजर थे मुंबई एयरपोर्ट से जा चुके हैं और ये मुंबई एयरपोर्ट से सारी उड़ानें भरना शुरू कर दिया है। जी
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जुड़ने के लिए for that with those details coming in from Mumbai viewers. We will continue to keep a close eye on developments. Now we shift our focus to Manipur viewers as it awaits to welcome the Prime Minister. For the first time since 2023, Prime Minister Modi will be in Imphal tomorrow and he'll be starting his visit, in fact, from Churachandpur. That is a Kuki community bastion, remember, and we will be concluding his visit with a mega rally in the Mete heartland, that is Imphal. The big question, of course, is the Prime Minister's visit being seen as a precursor to a permanent solution? Here's the full story.
Winds of change are blowing across Manipur. The state is decked up, the excitement is palpable. Roads draped with colourful flags. Routes beautified and spruced up for the big day. These are the scenes from Churachandpur and Imphal, where all eyes are now set on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's crucial visit. This visit comes just days after the restoration of key highway connectivity, which many now call the Highway of Peace. It also marks Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first visit since the ethnic clashes between the Kukis and the Metes shook the state.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to visit the state of Manipur tomorrow. The Prime Minister will be addressing two mega rallies in the state, one in Churachandpur and another in Imphal. Right now we are reporting from the streets of Churachandpur, and you can see how the entire district has been decked up. You can see colorful flags and also posters of the Prime Minister welcoming him to Churachandpur, and there has been a lot of excitement among the people too, because this is the first visit of the Prime Minister to the state of Manipur ever since the ethnic conflict broke out.
In Churachandpur, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone for projects worth Rs 7,300 crore. From Imphal, he will inaugurate infrastructure projects worth at least 1,200 crore.
Right now, I'm in front of the gate where the second program is going to be held after Prime Minister Narendra Modi returned from Churachandpur in his visit to Manipur. So we can see the tight security arrangement here. I'll show you. Prime Minister will be visiting the Western Kangla Gate. The Kangla inside this Kangla Gate, his second program will be held the meeting with the public along with the security forces.
I welcome our Prime Minister Modi, and then I believe that since he has not yet come to Manipur, but I believe this time if he comes in Manipur, I believe that he will solve the conflict between the Kukis and the Manipuris. That's all. And sincerely, I welcome our Prime Minister Modi.
Churachandpur and Imphal are not just geographic locations. They are symbolic and emotional centers of the Kuki-Zo and Mete communities. This dual engagement is being seen as a gesture of neutrality, signaling that the Modi government is concerned about the humanitarian and political crisis, while carefully avoiding taking sides. Speaking to Republic, Kuki-Zo Council members expressed hope that peace will finally prevail.
First of all, we are happy that the Prime Minister of India decided to visit us after a long time. We've been expecting him to visit us when the conflict started before, but he never gets the time to visit us. But this time he has decided to visit us, which is a positive sign. And our expectation is we want our Prime Minister to see the suffering in the ground. We wish that he could visit the relief camp and see the suffering of the people. and the hardship that we are undergoing.
It's a lot of excitement. In fact, there's some small people, miscreants, who has created some trouble last night. I think it is the drunkards that has been taken care of by the district administration. So people are very excited, and people are expecting that he announced some projects and then for the people of Kukizo, and then we are hoping that he's doing his best.
The Prime Minister's visit begins in Churachandpur and culminates with a key address at the Kangla Fort in Imphal. His visit is being seen as an attempt to balance optics with outreach. Sources say that the Prime Minister is also expected to meet displaced families and may even announce rehabilitation packages. The state has been under President's rule since February this year. And with the Prime Minister's visit, hopes are running high for permanent solution to Manipur's long-running crisis.
And now viewers, we pay our taxes so that the government can provide us with good healthcare facilities. But in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore Medical College Hospital, it seems that human welfare is just an afterthought. The protection of patients is not at all important. Because the story we are going to bring to you, it will definitely prick your conscience, more so if you are from Tamil Nadu. A few days back, a video of a man dragging his diabetic father on the floor of the hospital sparked massive outrage. What is touted as Coimbatore's premium healthcare facility has no wheelchairs, no stretchers, no staff members. The people and the opposition are cornering the Stalin government over his sham of a healthcare model. Here's the full story.
A son's desperate attempt to save his father. No wheelchair, no stretcher, no staff to help. Just a helpless man dragging his 84-year-old father across the cold hospital floor. These are heart-wrenching scenes from Coimbatore Medical College Hospital in DMK-ruled Tamil Nadu. Medical apathy doesn't get more brutal than this. While the Stalin government splurges crores on flashy banners and PR campaigns, it has failed to provide the most basic dignity, healthcare for its own people. In the chilling video, you can see V. Kalidasan pleading for help. His diabetic father Vadivel fighting for every breath, and yet the hospital staff remain unmoved. Kalidasan spoke exclusively to Republic, exposing the shocking rot in Tamil Nadu's healthcare system. Hours after the video went viral, CMCH suspended 2 contract supervisors. But here's the real eye-opener. Not only was the staff uncooperative, even the hospital signboards were riddled with spelling errors, a reflection of the absolute neglect. And what's truly inhumane, the victim's family says they even paid a bribe and were still left to suffer.
15 நிமிஷம் வெயிட் பண்ணவங்களுக்கு 2 மணி நேரத்துக்குள்ள ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் பண்ணியிருந்தா இவ்வளோ அவங்க அந்த ஃபஸ்ஸு இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஆயிருக்குங்களா மேடம்? அவங்க சொன்னாங்கல்ல டீனு ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் பண்ணி அனுப்பிச்சோன்னு, ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் பண்ணியிருக்க லட்சணத்தை பாருங்க அப்படின்னா. சரி, அப்படியே இழுத்துட்டு இருக்கும்போது அழுக்காகுதுன்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னா அவ்வளோ சுத்தமாக வச்சுருக்கீங்களா? என்னென்ன கட்டுக்கதை, கம்பி கட்டுற கதை இவரு தான் கட்டுறாருன்னா, அமைச்சர் தான் கட்டுறாருன்னா இவங்களும் சேர்ந்து கட்டுறாங்க. அந்த கிறிஸ்டல் நிறுவனத்துக்காரங்க மேல தான் ஃபுல் தப்பு மேடம்.
ஒரே ஒரு A4 சீட்ல போட்டிருக்கிறாங்க, அதை வந்து செவுத்துல ஒட்டி வச்சிருக்காங்க. அது நம்ம பார்த்தோம்னா அப்படி ஒன்றும் தெரியாதுங்க. அப்ப நான் தேடி போய் அங்க போயிட்டா எங்க அப்பாவை ஆட்டோல இருந்து இறக்கி அவரு வாக்கரை வச்சு கூட்டிட்டு போறேங்க. வாக்கர்ல தான் கஷ்டப்பட்டு அவருக்கு நான் வந்து ரிசப்ஷன்ல போய் கேக்குறேன். அங்க ஒரு ஸ்டாஃப் உட்கார்ந்து இருந்தாங்க. அவங்க எனக்கு தெரியாதுங்கன்ட்டாங்க. இந்த செக்ஷன் எதுங்கன்னு கேக்குறேன். ஏன்னா அந்த போட்டோ எடுத்து அந்த இதனுடைய வந்து நான் கேக்குறேன். இந்த அதுலயே ஸ்பெல் மிஸ்டேக் எல்லாம் இருந்தது. ஓன் போட்டு யூன் போட்டிருக்கிறாங்க. எனக்கு என்ன ஏதுன்னு புரியல. இல்ல பேஷண்ட் இருக்கிறாங்க இங்க இந்த வண்டியிலன்ட்டாங்க. அப்ப திரும்ப போய் ஸ்டாஃப் கிட்ட சொல்றேன், இந்த மாதிரிங்க வீல் சேர் வந்துருச்சுங்க அப்படின்னா, நீங்க உட்கார சொன்னல, நீங்க உட்காருங்க உங்களுக்கு வருவாங்க அப்படின்னு அவங்க சொன்னாங்க. சரின்னு சொல்லி கொஞ்ச நேரம் கூட்டிட்டு வந்து அப்ப வீல் சேர்னா முன்னாடி எல்லாம் கசன்னு போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. காலில் மிதிச்சா இவர் ஏற்கனவே வலின்னு ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டுட்டு இருக்கிறாரு. நான் மெதுவா கை தாங்களா கூட்டிட்டு வந்து அவரை வந்து அங்க அந்த ஈஸியா வெளியேற இடத்துல உட்கார வச்சுட்டேன்.
And that's all we could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. Viewers will be right back with the breaking news at 6:30. Don't go anywhere.